If you want to retain your website visitors, your website must load fast. In order to make your WordPress website load fast, I am going to tell you about one such plugin after using which your website will load blazingly fast. So what you need to do, you just need to watch the video till the end. So without wasting time, let's get started. To make your website load faster, you must use one method which is called caching. So what is caching? Caching is just a simple technique in which the server keeps a copy of the frequently visited pages, so that if anyone visits your website and requests the same page, the cached version or copy version of that web page is sent to the visitors, and in the meanwhile your server doesn't get any kind of load or burden and your websites perform faster. So we are going to install one plugin which is called WP Supercache to our WordPress website. To install it, we just need to go to plugins and then add new and type WP Super, and this plugin will appear, and here the install button will appear. Because I have already installed the WP Supercache, I am not seeing install button. Just need to click on the install button and within 1 minute it will be installed to your WordPress website. So I am assuming that you have installed the WP Supercache. So in this video I am going to tell you how you can set up WP Supercache to make your website faster. So after installing, you need to go to settings, then go to WP Super. The default layout will look like this. The first option is easy, and under this one tab is given which is caching. So you must keep the caching on. You need to update the status. Now the second tab is advanced, which is very crucial tab for WP Super. Here you will get a lots of options, but all the options are not necessary. Only the things which is necessary I am going to tell you. The first option is caching, which is enabled. Cache delivery method simple, which is recommended. You can also select expert, but to select the expert option, you need to have root access to your servers. And if you are running on some hosting by Bluehost or GoDaddy, you will not have the option to root access. Next option is miscellaneous. Okay, so you must select disable caching for logged in visitors, which is recommended by the WP Super. So what happens when some visitors create some accounts? The data becomes dynamic. It keeps on changing based on the activities of visitor. So if the caching is on, the same thing will be served to visitors, and which is irritating also. Next thing, compress pages so that they serve more quickly to visitors, which is recommended. Check this. I am telling you the options that you should enable or disable. I am not talking about the other options which is of no use. So the next thing is the cache HTTP headers with page content. So leave it as it is. Next thing is 304 browser caching. Improves the performance by checking if the page has changed since the browser has last requested it. You should enable it. Next tab is advanced. So you should enable extra homepage checks. Okay, so you should enable it. Next tab is cache location. So where do you want to save the cache? If your website is not rooted, you cannot change it, and if your website is rooted, means you have the access to the file manager. I will not recommend to change the location. Next thing is a cache timeout. Change it to 3600. 3600 means 1 hour. So cache timeout is set to be 1 hour, and you should not change anything else. Next thing is notification emails. You should enable it. If you want to read this, you can read. Next thing is the accepted file names and rejected URLs. Next thing is do not cache the following page types. So if you think some pages are updated frequently, then you should not cache that page, because caching keeps a copy, and if you have updated something on some pages, it will not be seen to the visitor. So whatever pages is frequently updated, you should filter here. Okay, so here, if you think some of the posts are very old and you do not want to include that pages in caching, you can filter here. So if you just for example, if you don't want to cache the pages which is older than 2020, okay, so you can type here like this. So all the pages which were created in 2020 will not be cached, okay, and your server space will not run out of space. So here are the things which can be cached. Next thing is the rejected user agents. So you should not change anything else. So after you have done all the changes, you should save the settings. Now the settings have been saved. Next thing is CDN. So what is CDN? CDN stands for Content Delivery Network. So if your website uses so many resources like images, JS files, JavaScript files, CSS files, and many other resources, so in order to make your website load faster, you can load all these resources from different servers. Okay, or you can say different hostings. Here you need to specify the servers which can be paid or free also. Some CDNs are like Max CDN, which is paid. WordPress also offers CDN which is known as Jetpack CDN, but you need to pay something for that. Okay, so if you have any CDN, you can enable here. In the offsite URL, you can specify the location. Okay, like this. So now copy this whatever your CDN provider is, there you can host your files and load from that website to make your website load faster. Okay, so you need to specify the location here. After doing this, you can save the changes. I'm not using any CDN, so I'm not enabling it. Next thing is content. Okay, so you think your website has updated a lot more, but the last caches has not been cleared from your website, so you can clear all the caches here. You can also see the status of your recent caches, means how much memory the cache has been occupied. Okay, so 0 cache pages, 0 expired pages, 0 cache pages, 0 expired pages. Okay, so you can delete cache here, and I will recommend to delete the cache every 2 or 3 days. Next thing is preload. So what is preload? It is very crucial for SEO, search engine optimization. Means if a Google bot is striking your website to crawl your posts, you can enable the preload. Means the website keeps a copy of the post, so as soon as the crawler from the Google or Yahoo hits your website, it immediately bounces the post back to the crawler. And in the same way, your website loads faster. And in doing this, Google thinks the website is loading very fast, and it will upgrade your SEO score, and your website may rank better in Google searches or any other search engine results. Next thing is plugins. If you don't have knowledge about PHP, hypertext preprocessor, it is a server-sided script, you should not change any settings here. Okay, and I will not recommend to enable it. Leave it as it is. Last option is debug. So it is a kind of log in which the problems occurring in your website will be listed, and what are the problems the website is facing while caching the website will be listed. Okay, so you can get the errors here. It is given here. And if you want other IPs other than your PC not to see the logs, you can filter the IP here. My IP is this, I can copy here and paste it here. So any request to see the logs from this IP will be shown, but other IPs will be blocked and they will not be able to see the logs of my website. Okay, you don't need to change anything else. After doing all these settings, you can save settings and you are good to go. In this way, you can customize and set up WP Supercache, which is a very fantastic plugin to make your website load faster. And if you think you have any kind of question related to WP Supercache, you can comment down below and I will reply all the comments. If you think this video helped you somehow, don't forget to give a like. And if you think this video didn't help you, you can also give the dislike. And the most crucial thing is to subscribe and press the bell icon so that you never miss any future video from Only WordPress. So see you in the next video. Peace.